Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and greetings to Dr. Helmi and to others who are watching this video. Now we're living in a dynamic environment where we have interaction with our environment in many different ways. So this interaction somehow give effect on us, especially on our health. So this is when epidemiological study plays an important role for us to understand the development of the disease, and subsequently will identify the risk factor relevant to the disease. And this understanding will give us the idea on how to present the occurrence of the disease, and then subsequently will help us to maintain our health. One of the branches in epidemiology is molecular epidemiology. So this branch mainly involves the molecular biology or genetic factors of the disease from the laboratory perspective into the epidemiological investigation of the disease, as well as to understand the disease transmission and help in outbreak management. Other than that, molecular epidemiology also contribute to the development of the pathogenesis of the infectious disease, to establish the source or the reservoir of the infectious disease, to understand the circulation pattern, transmission probability, transmission pattern, and also transmission order of the infectious disease. For the purpose of this discussion, I want to focus on the submicroscopic malaria infection. As we all know, Malaysia currently aiming for malaria elimination in 2020, as Ministry of Health also had produced a specific program on the National Strategic Plan for Malaria Elimination since 2011. One of the endgame strategy for this malaria elimination is the detection of submicroscopic malaria. This strategy came into picture because we are already in a low transmission setting. The challenges in this situation are the early detection of the disease. In an endemic setting, asymptomatic malaria infection can be detected through regular active case detection by using microscopic approach. However, many studies show that in low transmission setting, such as in Malaysia, asymptomatic malaria infection is mainly submicroscopic infection, in which the parasitemia is detected only by molecular method. Thus, the challenges in elimination relies on our ability to detect and treat this asymptomatic reservoir. Here, I want to share my experience in battling with 4 outbreaks of Plasmodium vivax malaria among orang asli in Lipis District, Pahang. This event involved 5 villages in Post Lenjang and 1 village in Post Titong. This locality located in the interior forest of the Lipis District, which require 3 to 4 hours of 4-wheel drive from the nearest town. So the first outbreak involved 34 cases of Plasmodium vivax among the local orang asli. The massive blood survey and also regular active case detection were done among the local orang asli, as well as the foreigner who have pit link with the village. The dilemma that we faced during the outbreak is we are unable to find the cause or the link for the outbreak. The suspicion was the infection was introduced from the outside of the locality, because the locality already free from malaria for the past 10 years. The suspect for the primary case was the foreigner who had interaction with the localities. So here comes the molecular epidemiology into the outbreak investigation. From this event, about 551 venous samples were taken by the health district with the help of JKM Pahang, KKM, and also University Malaya for the PCR investigation for malaria. From those samples, we found out 60 cases of submicroscopic Plasmodium vivax, which constitute about 11% of sample population. This prevalence is still higher compared to other local study done in Kapit Sarawak in 2013, where the prevalence is 1.7% among sample population of 1,744 people. Other study done in Thailand also shows lower prevalence of submicroscopic malaria, constitute about 3%. Other than that, we also took sample from the foreigner for the purpose of this outbreak. Among 73 samples that we took from the foreigner, 11 was detected as positive for Plasmodium vivax, which corresponded about 15% of sample, and mostly originated from Pakistan, one of the endemic countries for malaria. This is high compared to other studies done in Spain among immigrants originating from endemic countries. which constitute about 5.7%. Based on all of the information from the molecular investigation, we were able to find an epidemiological link for the transmission of this outbreak. First, we can postulate that the primary case come from the foreigner, and then from that we can dig further on the epidemiological investigation to establish the link for the infection. Then this can help us to classify the case definition for this malaria outbreak as an introduced malaria plasmodivirus infection in order to fulfill the requirement for the malaria elimination program. From this finding also we can discuss on the policy for the treatment on the submicroscopic malaria and evaluate the risk of transmission of the submicroscopic malaria. Currently, there's a limited data on the transmission rate of the infection from the submicroscopic malaria. Besides, the role of submicroscopic malaria in ongoing transmission in most settings is still unclear. So, better understanding of role of submicroscopic malaria in the disease transmission still require further research. This can help us to determine the best approach to deploy our active surveillance, and it help us to pursue elimination of malaria. The other domain in this molecular epidemiological study that I experienced during this plasmodivirus outbreak is the phylogenetic analysis. It was done to further analyze the origin of the parasite and give us the idea on the suspected source and infected person. However, from the study done for the outbreak, it gave us inconclusive finding as the result was not clinically relevant. The finding was influenced by the limited source of reference for the phylogenetic study from different parts of the world. That is why the result can be inaccurate. Thus, this study should be pursued further to improve the system for phylogenetic testing. Even though molecular investigation can help us in epidemiological study, but in submicroscopic malaria, this field still has its own limitation in this outbreak management. From this molecular study, we are uncertain on the process of the disease development. Either the case is resolving from infection or still developing the disease. Besides, it cannot give us the information on the infectivity potential of the infection, as it cannot tell us the density of the gametocyte. This makes the study on the persistence of the infection, gametocyte carriage, and mosquito infectivity to be important from the molecular perspective. The other challenges in this outbreak is plasmodivirus also has a hypnozoid stage, which represents an invisible reservoir and can become obstacle for elimination effort. In conclusion, from all the challenges that we face from the outbreak, we can see that there's a loss of knowledge gap in the molecular study that can help us to prevent the disease and subsequently lead us to have the malaria elimination status. Besides, the advancement in this molecular epidemiology also can enhance our understanding on the infectious disease in terms of etiologic agent, the transmission probability, transmission pattern, and reservoir detection, which subsequently will lead us to have a better surveillance on the disease, a better prevention program, and an effective case detection method. Thank you.